أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من نفخه ونفسه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني. فاعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا. جنة من عبادك الصالحين. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Today is day 25, and we started day 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. Now it's 25, and Ramadan is packing his bag. He's packing his bag and about to say, goodbye, my people. Now, I was just discussing with someone today. Ramadan come, it's just gonna come like that. It's gonna leave, as if nothing ever visited him, as if we never received a visitor. And he has come to fulfill the mission Allah has, ordered the one to do on Muslim, and it's going to live like that. Then till next year, and we don't know who is going to be alive, who is going to witness it. No, which state are we going to be there? We don't know. It's funny to say, but it's unfortunate that there are people that might have been Muslim last year, and they might by Allah's will, they might be taken out of Islam this year. Allah, they are alive, but Ramadan doesn't meet them in the state to which it's supposed to meet them. So Alhamdulillah for us, and we can only pray that Allah accept all we do in this month and give us longevity to witness more Ramadan, so that He can make the one that meets us alive the best of our Ramadan. Now the question that this state of the month, the 25th, and the closure of it, the question that it begs out of you and I is to checkmate ourselves. What has Ramadan done in my life? It has come and it's going to live like that. It's living. The question is, he's asking us itself, that what have I done in you? Have I been able to inject the piety in you? Have you gained from me as well? And in a few days, he's going to say goodbye and he's going to start packing his bag. And we need to run as much as we can to everything we can do, inshallah, to keep striving. One of my friends was telling me, like, it's okay to fall sick after Ramadan. He said, but that he said, the month you made effort, and it has not gone wasted, inshallah. And also I like to remind that Shaitan, though we might still have a closure lecture, inshallah, but I like to remind, as it comes to the mind, that Shaitan is also getting ready. They chained him up, but they're about to release him now. Allahu Akbar. Because he has asked Allah that, Allah, give me longevity. And Allah said, I give you longevity till the day that I'm going to bring it back to us. Now he's about to be released from, where he's been chained. And he's already making new plans. So we need to hold on to what we have learned, that Ramadan has injected. Is also keep striving, praying, going to the masjid, praying in Jama'ah and all of those. So we become, best servant of Allah, in a better state. That even when Ramadan comes next year, we'll be in a better state, inshallah. So we're going to proceed today, inshallah. We left off verse 67. We spoke about 67 yesterday. We spoke to 70, actually. We stopped at 70 when we said it is imperative for you and I to, call people to the word of Allah. Let them know what the Quran truly is. Let them know the Quran for what it is. Allah said, for those who witness, who see this Ramadan. I think Ramadan is already in my blood. I keep saying Ramadan. Those who see the Quran and they are alive, they should, preach the word and preach the gospel to let people know the Quran for what it is, as the true guidance, and provide light for the ummah. And Allah said, let the disbelievers see the Quran for what it is. Now today we're going to pick up. After Allah has disclosed all of this, and because Allah is the one who is just is the Lord that is just. It doesn't, because He said on that day, actually, we're not going to be unjust to any of you. So He's giving all of this for us to know that all of this prevailed. These are the things that are expected of them, but this is what they come by in return. Now Allah wants to explain further. He said, These people that are disbelieve in me, that today they have wronged their own souls, and I just don't just tell them to go into the hellfire. Allah said, I gave them, a lot in this world, so much so that they were supposed to not just take from us, but to give back their worship to us. Now Allah said, "Awalam yarau anna khalaqna lahum mimma amilat aydina." Have they not seen what we created from them, from our own might and capability? And then the tafsir there, what Allah is referring to there is the camel. And if you look at, the cattle actually, we're gonna get to where it's actually speak about the camel. And these two animals, mashallah, Allahu Akbar, we cannot get to the depth of it. Even scientists cannot. They're still making research of what is the enormous benefit of cattle. We know back home, for example, they use the urine of cattle for a lot of medications. Even scientists agree to that. A lot of medication, even leprosy is said to cure leprosy. The urine of a cattle who is pregnant, they use it to cure leprosy and stuff like that. Now Allah said, have you not seen what I've created for them? Have they not seen how we molded the cattle so much so that they are submissive to them? Then Allah said, even out of this creation, we provided, grazing livestock that they can, benefit from it. We get, our beef from them. We enjoy all this creation, and Allah said that we fashion them, we shape them to look at them like that, so much so that even if we try to control them by our own might, we cannot. Allah said we make them submissive to them. We created them, we fashioned these animals, but we make them submissive to human creations. We're going to get to an interesting fact about camel themselves. And now Allah, told us that have you not seen now He created the camel? Look at how long the neck is and all of those, how beautiful it is. Comes in different colors, and with all this beauty, Allah said, go down to the people of Adam, submit. Allahu Akbar. Then Allah said, we created them, we fashioned this creation of ours. Allah is referring to the cattle here that we enjoy from their milk, we enjoy from their beef, and all of those. Then Allah said, Anafahum laha malikun. Allahu Akbar. Then we made this thing that we have created to be slave to the people of Adam. We made it slave to these people. Everyone in this world can, own a farm and own, livestock, both Muslim and Christian or whoever doesn't even believe. Allah said we make them owners on this creation of ours. We made them the owners that, whoever have a plot of land today, they say, I want to start rearing, I want to start farming. Then Allah said we made it easy for them. Then it proceeded in 72. It said, وَزَلَّلْنَا لَهُمْ فَمِنْهَا رَكُوبُهُمْ وَمِنْهَا يَأْكُلُونَ. Now, this is where the camel comes in. And I said, وَزَلَّلْنَا لَهُمْ. Then we have tamed them for them. We make them submissive to them. Allahu Akbar. Now, a clear example of this, when we look at the camel, research made us know that a camel could eat. It is going to eat full, drink full, and be full, then have an extra space to store up to 2,000 pounds of food and drink. Allahu Akbar. And that can last him. So that's how they can travel far. They can travel, and even he can travel up to 20 miles a day, up to 20 miles, and he wouldn't be tired. They don't get tired easily. They drink, they move, and even the owners, people before now, they use them to carry livestock, their luggage, they travel with them and all of those. Then Allah said, and some of them you travel with them, you enjoy them, you ride on them. They are so much so that the book of Tafsir make us understand that if we have like thousands of livestock, thousands of cows, thousands of cattle, thousands of camel, and it is just being directed by a young boy or a young girl, like a teenager or even a kid, he could direct thousands of his livestock. Allahu Akbar. So much so that we can see the length of submissiveness that Allah made these people go in submission for us. We cannot, just for us to know how Allah honored the people of Adam. Allah said, "Walaqad karamna bani Adam." Then we fashioned them, we took them out of all our creations, and we give a kasiri min al-alamin, everything in this world that we see around them. And I said, we make they are beneficial to the people of Adam. Now, just I think sometime last week, wallahi, I saw my own eyes. There was a video of a young, I think it was a young boy, and the camel was standing, and he was standing. Then the boy was playing, he was playing, trying to kiss, move around, trying to move around with the camel. Then all of a sudden, he went down, he go down, he knelt down. Allahu Akbar. He didn't tell him to do that. But because it has been ordained, it has been injected in the creation of this livestock that they must submit to the people of Adam. They must submit to human creation. He knelt down. He was, was thinking the boy was going to ride on it. And we even know how when these animals are being slaughtered, they go down. I think I'm having low battery now. They go down so much so that some of them shed tears that they're about to take my life. And we know of the record of the long life that these camels that they live. This is the benefit, how beautiful they are. They are different from other animals that Allah created. But Allah said, even with all of this, the point there is we make them submissive to you and I. You and I could have, even especially the Arabs, they do what they want with this animal. They do what they want with them. They ride with them. And some of you choose to slaughter them. For example, now it's about to be Eid. People buy, different kind of cows. People buy, even some of them buy the camel. They say, we are rich. The rich people, the Arab. They slaughter camels to eat. Some of them just take them every day. People kill cattle. They kill, cows just to eat every day. And I said, we have made all of this submissive to them. You can enjoy their milk. You can enjoy their beef. A lot of people use the milk of camel for a lot of things. And if we do not see all of this that are beneficial to us today, Allah is pointing out the question there that who will be the one to provide your livestock and sustenance. Then I like how Tafsir ibn Kassir explained this. He said even though there is a train that consists of 100 or more camels, they could all be led by a young child. You see, so when I saw that video, immediately strike. When I read this, I immediately remember the video of that. It was like that was just so practical. And the boy was even, slapping the face, he was beating, and the camera doesn't even mind. That is only to be submissive. Then Allah said, some of you choose to ride these creations and you eat from their meat. And Allah said there are other benefits that you benefit from them. And there are other benefits that you enjoy and you drink from this creation of ours. So would you not then, be grateful servant to us? And other benefits, they say, from their wool, people use they make clothes from it. And even when we have back home, we have they used to make praying mat from it. They make praying mat from their force. They dry them up, they clean them, they make praying mat from it. Another benefit like that. And Allah said, we make all of this to be convenient for you, article of convenience, comfort for a time. And he said, Wamasharibu, you drink from their milk too. You drink from their milk, and even their urine, like we said, their urine is useful as a source of medication. And people would do Shifa'un Nabi, people would do the medication of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Sunnah. They know all of these things. There's a lot of benefit in the urine of camel. Then Allah said, then would you not then be grateful to us? All of these things that you enjoy, would you not be grateful to us? Then he said, what? La yastati'una. Hey, I was going to point out that yesterday we got to the 6th Mubin when we reached the Quran Mubin. Yes, that was the 6th Mubin. I think I skipped that. Yeah, that was the 6th Mubin. So inshallah, we have one. And we have one more page to go now. So hopefully in these few 5 days, if Allah wills, we can finish. So 75 years says, La yastati'una nasrahum. Allah said, all these idols, that this what are disbelievers, in fact, that we are giving you this explanation. All of these that we created, we make submissive to them, and we subjected to them, in fact, that we were hoping that they will see as signs and not just enjoy them, but let them bring them back to us in worship and also thank us. Thank the one who has provided for you what you think. You don't have your money. If you don't have, okay, for example, a clear example is during COVID-19, right? When pandemic broke out, people have money, they cannot buy nothing. It is when you see what you want to buy that you will use your money. Your money is useless if there's nothing to buy. Even another example, back in Nigeria recently, they are having crisis of, financial crisis of exchange. People have money, but it's not useful. They cannot use it for nothing. People are using money to buy money. People have money in bank. They cannot use it. Allahu Akbar. So this is a clear message for people to think that, okay, now, the rich is not different from the poor. You have the money, but it's not useful for you. Your money is even a problem because the more you have, when the government say you're going to take it in, the more problem it becomes to you. And I say all of these things that you think you buy with your money and when you want, how you want, how many, bag of this, how many bag of that you buy at your convenience. If I did not make it easy for the farmers to rear livestock, to cultivate all of this, and they did not bring it to you as food produce, you cannot buy them. And Allah said, Afala, yashkurun. We only want you to thank them. But these disbelievers, in fact, so much so that we can see, brothers, from this passage that we can see, even if we try to picture it in human minds, we see that it's a statement of annoyance. Allah is disappointed in disbelievers, in fact. He's saying all of these things, you are so blind that you just think you can enjoy and live and you're not going to come back to us. Then Allah said, La yastati'una nasrahum. All these idols, what they call the idols that they worship. Allah said they are not going to be beneficial to them. They will not be there. They weren't beneficial to them in the world. Neither will they be beneficial to them today. That's why Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he was telling his grandfathers that all these things you are worshiping, you don't hear them. You speak, they don't hear, and they cannot even speak to you. Allahu Akbar. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he was known to be so courageous and eloquent, in fact, so much so that at his young age, he challenged the elders and the chiefs in the city. And they said, what has tampered with our idols? All these are, they call them their gods. Who tampered with them? And they said it's Ibrahim. Then they said, go and bring him to us. He said, okay, I have come. You people, okay, you know what we're going to do? It is one of their elders, because the name of they have different kind of idols that they worship. You say, it is this big one out of them. Ask him, let him tell you who took him from one spot to the next spot. Allahu Akbar. Then he said, you people don't have sense. This thing cannot even speak for you. How would they cannot defend themselves. Why would they defend you? And also, if you remember, when we spoke of the story of Abu-Gafar, Abu Dar al-Ghifari, we spoke of how he was, worshiping idols, and, he traveled, and, he came back, and the idols was tampered with, and he was wondering if this idol cannot defend itself, how then would it defend me? That led him to convert to Islam and going back to Allah Alaihi Wasallam. And also, even if we go back to the story of Abib al-Najjar, Abib al-Najjar also told them that inni izan lafi dolalil mubin. If I have followed these idols that cannot save you today, that cannot talk to you, cannot talk to them, that they cannot help you, how would they help me in the sight of Allah? Then if I follow what I have seen to be a lost, and I do not follow the true message that the messengers have brought, then inni izan lafi dolalil mubin. Then he said that I am in true loss. So this is to bring us back to this point that the idols were not supposed, they weren't useful for them, and they wouldn't be useful for them on the day of judgment. And even they themselves, they cannot protect themselves. These idols, they cannot help themselves, so they cannot even help the ones who worship them. So Allah is bringing this back to say that all of these idols on the day of judgment, they will be gathered. And even they will see them to be more tormenting, in fact, and they will speak against them that, we are just jamad. I am just a stone, but you chose to worship me. And it will even bring more despair and grief into the heart of these believers. So much so they will start shaking and see that, oh wow, we have wronged our own souls. And Ibn Kassir said, the idols will get angry at them. Allahu Akbar. Will get angry for the sake of their gods in this world, but they could not do them any benefit or protect them from any harm. So that means if they have seen that to be something clear, but because they did not receive the guidance of Allah to see that as something that is of loss, they wouldn't return back to what the message is calling them to. Then Allah said, I created them instead of them to see how we gave life to camel, for example, how they ride on them, to ponder upon that. They choose to just worship ordinary stone. That is the message there. That Allah is comparing to say that, have you been so blind, that you've been so gullible, that you chose to see what doesn't move from a spot? Allahu Akbar. But you see what I created, I could move, and you can even direct the movement, and you don't see that to be a sign that I am the only one that you should worship, but rather you called my messengers, you called them liars, and they called even Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Majnoon, so much so that he was in despair. He was not happy with how they received the message of Allah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not happy, not because they didn't receive him, but because they did not receive the message that he brought to them. And Allah even told him in the next verse, he said, "Fala yahzunaka qawluhum." Don't let whatever they say to you, don't let it bother you. Don't let it bother you, man. We got you covered. Allah said, don't, we know what they say. We know how they say it. And you know, people who don't believe today, especially in this our world today, they have some bad word and slang that if they use it on you, you have to think twice before you walk away and not respond to them. Then Allah said, Inna na'lamu ma yusirun wa ma yulinun. Allah said, we know what they conceal, we know what they say to you, we know how they say it, and we know what they are planning. But don't worry, we know that you are worried about it, you are despair. We're going to bring them together. You be patient. And let's also fall back to the verse that Allah said in Surah Al-Mu'minun, that we're going to bring them together. The patient that you have, on that day, you will be the one that will be victorious. And Allah encouraged the mu'minun that even you and I today, if you're trying to preach the word of Allah, if you're trying to follow through the commandment of Allah to let disbelievers see the Quran for what it is, we're going to encounter challenges. But Allah said, "Wala tahinu wala tahzan." Don't despair and neither don't be in uncertainty. Don't be afraid. Don't feel reluctant. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنُونَ. You will be the one who will be triumphant. You will overcome if truly you have submitted and you are true mu'min. Allahu Akbar. I like to refer back to this verse because it's comforting and promising. In fact, it's a motivation. It's a motivation to mu'min. That if we know that we are truly believers, Allah said, "Asbuk Allah wa asbuk man tabaka min al-mu'minin." Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That tell your people that I will be just enough for them and will be just enough for you. Will be enough for you and will be enough for them if they have submitted to you. So if we know that this is what we have, it is challenging. It's not easy. Brother Allah make it easy for us. But if you hold on to that, Allah said you would be eventually, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah said eventually you will be the one that would overcome and you will have, the ending laughter. You're going to laugh last. And, they say the one who laughs last laughs best. Easy life, we're gonna stop here today. And on that day, to sum it up, Allah said, once we bring them back to you, none of what these people have done would be able to survive them. Neither their footstep, neither their disbelief or whatever they have chosen to worship will save them on that day. And you will see how we're gonna deal with them, inshallah. We're gonna stop here for today, bismillah. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. Hopefully there's a commentary or questions or clarification. No. I think we might be able to finish in these few days because we're already at 77. We have maybe like 6 verses to go. I think that will give us more time to justify those verses, inshallah. I guess there's no questions or clarifications. Okay, I think the brother wants to.
So that took us to 76.
Yes, sir. 76.
Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll start at 77.
Yeah, we start 77 tomorrow, inshallah. And we just have like 6 to go. 77. We have 283. Inshallah, we might be able to finish, and maybe we're gonna just do the closing dua and ask Allah to accept it, and inshallah do the tafsir. Inshallah. Brother Ajmal, do you have something to say? I think you unmute yourself.
I did. I had a word I wanted to get more clarification on, but I didn't mark it, so I can't figure out.
Maybe
I wanted some clarification on a word. Don't worry about it, brother. Inshallah, I'll
Okay.
have my chance because I
Yeah,
don't think
inshallah.
it's not in these ayahs we covered. It was last ayahs
Oh,
we did
yes.
the other
Okay.
day.
Okay.
I meant to get back
Oh,
to that word and I marked it in the Quran. Yeah, inshallah.
all right. Inshallah. Hopefully you run into it and you can get back to it. Inshallah.
Yeah,
May Allah make it easy for us and grant us more wisdom, inshallah. And accept it from us, inshallah.
inshallah.
Okay, we pick it up from here tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.